the UT Student Health Insurance Program. This plan is one of the best plans that's actually available out on the market today. In the United States, we have this law that's called the Affordable Care Act, under which all plans that are sold here in the United States have to meet certain criteria. And they are kind of like the Olympics. They're sold in platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. A platinum plan is the highest one, but it covers everything at 100%. And nobody really can afford to buy those with the Affordable Care Act, but they're just at 100%. The cost is too high. So this particular plan is a gold plan, which is one of the highest ones that you can buy out on the marketplace today. And the UT system designed this plan to have the UT student be out the less amount whenever you would have a medical situation going on. So my job today is to walk through our website and kind of get you familiar with all that. So this is the website up at the top is utrgv.myahpcare.com is the website. So that's where you would go to find the information. And this is the home page. There's a toolbar. It's either at the top or the bottom of your screen, and I'm showing you here now. This one's located on the bottom, and we are on the home page. But what you want to do is just click on whichever page you find that you want to get information on. You can just go and click. We have a quick links, a benefits tab, a cost tab, an enrollment tab, a waiver tab, how to file claims. There's some parent information. We have the 1920, which is last year's benefits, are still out here. If anybody had it last year and wanted to find out information about last year's information, and then of course a contact page. If you'll notice over here in the corner, there's a chat emblem, and you can click on that and send us an email if you have any questions. So that's a real nice feature that instead of picking up the phone and calling, you can just type in an email and we'll respond back to you with that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and move along here, and I'm going to start out on the benefits page. And is my screen kind of hopping around to y'all?
No, I can see it clearly.
Okay, maybe it's just my eyes. I've been looking at it too long today. Sorry. So on the benefits tab, the very first item is the plan benefit highlight flyer. And this gives you kind of a high level of what the benefits are. So basically, this is all the information that you need to know to enroll, what the requirements are. But you being an international student, you don't have any hourly requirements. You're just automatically eligible to be on the plan without taking hourly requirements. If you are a voluntary student, the voluntary students have to take at least 7 hours per semester, and the grad students have to take at least 4. So with this, what we have here is, this is what's called a PPO plan. And with that, you can have the choice of going in the first column, it's called going to a network provider. And then in the second column over here, it's called out of network provider. And what that means is that Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas is the insurance company that provides the benefits. So academic health plans, we're the ones that provide you the website. We get you enrolled. We collect the premium for the policy, and we get the money to Blue Cross Blue Shield to fund the policy. And then Blue Cross Blue Shield pays benefits to providers when you go to the doctor on your behalf based on what the benefits are. So first off, the very first line item says maximum benefit maximum. And with the Affordable Care Act, all plans have to be unlimited. So you can have either a $100 claim, or you could have a $100 million claim, and the plan would pay it. So I wouldn't really want a $100 million claim, but if you had anything, in other words, there is no limit to the plan as far as what it'll pay. And this plan is an annual plan. It starts in the first of the semester and then runs to the next year, the same first of the semester for next year. And I'll go over the dates here in just a few minutes. If you look I'm going to skip down here for just a second, and I'm going to go over when you go to a doctor's office visit. Um, when you go, well, let me back up to the top. Right above where it says benefit coverage at the Student Health Center, that is the best place for you to go, because when you go to the Student Health Center, the deductible is waived and everything that they could do at the Student Health Center is paid at 100%. So you have no out-of-pocket cost if you go to the Student Health Center for an immunization or to see one of the providers there. That's always your best value for the student health insurance. Now I'm going to skip down to a doctor's visit. If you go off campus or you're traveling around the United States, or you might even be in your home country, Blue Cross Blue Shield has benefits outside the United States as well. If you go to a primary care doctor, you have a $20 copay. That's what you pay to go just to go see the doctor. It's kind of like, I look at it like if I go to a movie, I'm going to have to pay maybe $10, $15 to get in and see the movie. But if I want popcorn, candy, or anything else, I have to pay all the extras once I get past what it costs to get in. So a primary care doctor is $20, and then any specialist that you might go to is $40 copay. And that should cover everything that they do while you're in the doctor's office. But if the doctor sends you down the hall for lab and x-ray, or he puts you in the hospital, or you have to go in for some surgery or something, then what happens is you have the deductible that applies first. And I'm going back up to the top where it says deductible. And if you'll notice, in-network deductible is $350. I promise you, you cannot find another plan available in the United States that has a $350 deductible. That's about as low as I've ever seen. My deductible with my company is $1,500. My daughter's is $3,000. My son's is $5,000. So UT held the deductible down in the event that you have to go in the hospital or have any surgery or anything outside the doctor's office when you're in network. Look what it is over to the right when you're out of network. It's $700. So Blue Cross Blue Shield has such big networks of providers. You should always go in network, but you can go out of network. You're just going to have to pay more money. So what happens if you I'm going to go back down to the hospital. So if you had to go into the hospital, you would pay your $350 deductible first. And then Blue Cross would pay 80% of the rest of the charges, and you would pay 20%. That's called your co-insurance. And so if the 20% you pay and your deductible and any other out-of-pocket expenses, except for your copays, ever reach your out-of-pocket maximum, which is $6,600. So once you ever would come out of pocket $6,600, the plan pays it at 100%. So let's just say, unfortunately, maybe you were involved in a bad car accident and the claim was $100,000. If you're in network, the most you're going to pay on that claim is $6,600, and then we pick it up at 100%. So it's just keep you out of financial hardship in the event that you have a large claim. Now let's look if you go out of network, that out of pocket is $13,200. So you can see that you always want to go in network so that you have the least amount of money out of your pocket if you have a medical expense. One thing I want to talk about is we also have virtual visits, and a virtual visit is where you can go sign up on the Blue Cross app and under virtual visits, and you can actually sign up to see a doctor or a mental health provider online or on your cell phone. And as long as you're in network, you just go to the app, sign up, pay for it with your credit card, and you don't have to go to the doctor, and it only costs $20. So that's pretty nice. With COVID and everything else right now, you know, people don't want to get out and go to the doctor. But however, I'm going to talk about COVID in a minute. If you have to go, if you see the doctor about something's bothering you on COVID, then there is no copayment. So if it's COVID related, it's zero. But if you're just, you know, have a sore throat or something in the middle of the night and it's not COVID related, you'd have a $20 copay. One other thing I want to talk about is the emergency room. This is when you go into, usually an emergency room is connected to a hospital. And when you just walk in the door, you can see you have a $150 copayment, and then it's paid at 80/20. So a lot of people abuse the emergency room. If they just don't feel good and it's 10 o'clock and the doctor's office closed and the student health center's closed, they just go to the emergency room. You're going to start off by paying $150 plus 20% of it. They have all the equipment to sew you up, to have, fix your heart attack, whatever. It's going to be at least $1,000 more. So you don't want to go to the emergency room unless your life depends on it. You can, but you're going to pay a lot of money out of your pocket. So please don't do that. I have students call me and go, "I went to the emergency room last night. My bill was $2,500. Well, what was wrong with you? I had a sore throat. Well, that's not really what you should do when you have a sore throat. So we also have, it's not shown on this page, but there's a provider called an urgent care. And I'll show you how to look up providers here in a moment. But you can look online and find urgent care in your neighborhood, and the urgent care copay is only $35. An urgent care facility can take care of things that are non-life-threatening after hours. So that's the difference between an urgent care and an emergency room. So if you just had a sore throat and you felt like you had to go see a provider, then you would go to an urgent care and it cost you a lot less money. Are there any questions on that? Does everybody kind of understand what I'm talking about there? Okay.
Yes, I have a question. Suppose for sore throat is completely bad to go at emergency care, but if someone has some breathing problem, so how he can understand that it is due to the COVID or anything else? So in that case, what should he or she do? Go for the urgent care or emergency?
If you're having trouble breathing and you think that it may be life-threatening, then I would go to the emergency room. Under the COVID benefits that I'm going to talk about in just a moment, if that happens, it would be covered at 100% by Blue Cross Blue Shield, as long as the diagnosis is COVID related. Okay. But if you're having trouble breathing, you could always do one of those virtual visits for $20, get the doctor on the phone, talk to them for $20, and they may tell you better get to the emergency room, and then you have to go to the emergency room. So I would try to do that maybe first. But if you're having trouble breathing in your chest, you feels like an elephant sitting on your chest, I would say that's a life-threatening situation. You need to get to the emergency room. And if you need to get to the emergency room and you're by yourself, what you would do is call 911, and an ambulance would probably show up to pick you up and take you to the emergency room. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. And then as we look down, you can see that there's a prescription drug program, and that for 30 days, as long as you go to a Prime Therapeutics pharmacy, which Blue Cross uses Walgreens as their major provider, there's a $15 copay for generic. There's a $30 for name brand, $50 for non-preferred. And then if you have any specialty drugs, they're paid at 80% as long as you're in network. That's for a 30-day supply. There's also a mail order program that you can go through Prime Therapeutics and get a 90-day supply for 2 copays if that's something that you're taking a maintenance type medicine. Look what happens if you go out of network. It's the same copays, but they only pay 60% instead of 100%. So you're going to pay the copays plus another 40%. So don't go to an out of network pharmacy. The main thing to remember is always try to go to Walgreens. You have a preventative services. That is your annual physical with the Affordable Care Act. Everyone who's signed up gets an annual physical once per year. For you ladies, that's your mammogram, pap smear, those kinds of female things. And for us guys, it's whatever they do for us based on our age. And if you go in network, everything is covered at 100%. If you decide to go out of network, you're going to pay 40%. So please don't do that. So it is free. It's part of the Affordable Care Act. And that kind of pretty much is a high level of any of the benefits at a high level. Does anyone have any questions right off the top of their head? Okay, well, if you have some in a minute, we'll come back to them. So I'm going to go back here to that same benefits tab. When you look down the column here, there's the brochure, and that is kind of like the policy. If you want to know more about the benefits other than what's on the plan highlight flyer, it has that information there. We have an optional dental plan if you want to sign up for the dental. It does not come with your insurance and is not billed on your tuition. You have to go online and pay for that separately to us. And it's actually past the open enrollment date, so you'd have to wait till next semester right now. For the spring coming up, it opens up on 11/1 and closes on 9/2. So you would have to, for the spring semester, purchase dental before, before February the 9th, excuse me. There is a list of 100% birth control covered items, and that is part of the Affordable Care Act. Every provider has to have a list of those. And if you click on the list and find that particular birth control method on there that you're using, it should be covered at 100%. We have academic emergency services. I'm going to open this up because it's included with all of the student health insurance plan. It's not health insurance, but it's extra benefits that the UNC system had added to your plan to help you out in certain circumstances. So this kind of gives you a broad variety of some of the things. It covers medical evacuation if you have to be evacuated for some reason. If for some reason you have to be repatriated back to your home country, that's covered. There's a return of deceased remains in the event that you are in the United States or are traveling and unfortunately happens to you in an accident. This policy pays for that. There's a visit by member of family and friends for up to $5,000 if you're hospitalized for 3 days, if you're more than 100 miles away from home. So if you're more than 100 miles away from the Rio Grande Valley there, then that would apply. So there's a lot of other benefits here. I'm not going to go over every one of them. There's some pre-travel benefits if you're going to be going to a country and you want to know about safety and travel. You can find out there. There can be prescription assistance. If you lose your luggage, they'll help you with that. They'll help with passport replacements. There's legal referrals. If you're accused of doing something that you didn't do while you're away, then they can help you with that. And if you lose your luggage or your purse and you don't have money to get home, they can help you with some emergency funds to get you back home. But I would remind you, you do have to pay that back, but at least you would have the availability to be able to do that. On this page, there's a picture here of the AES card. It has the policy number and the phone number in which to call. So I would make sure and take a picture of that and file it on my phone under AES so that you'll have the number to call in the event that you need these benefits, or you can contact academic health plans. We have a student assistance program. This is really nice because it's free. There's no cost to it, but you can go in there and there's a lot of different items that you can use to find out information about things that may be bothering you when you're away from home. There's like mental health tools on there. There's people to call to get certain kinds of assistance. Maybe if you're, need a babysitter or assistance with your parents. I mean, it's free with the insurance, and I invite you all to just open that up and take a look at it. It's really a nice program, and it is free. UT had worked with us to add that to the program. There's also some different flyers here from Blue Cross Blue Shield. These are all provided by Blue Cross Blue Shield. There is a behavioral health flyer. There's a tobacco cessation. There's a 24-hour nurse line. So that might be another thing when the student asked a moment ago, what do I do if I can't breathe? You can call this 24-hour 365 days a year, the nurse line. And this is, I call it the second best thing to calling mom and asking her what to do, because mom always knows. But the nurse can give you information on what might, what you might do and able to maybe make it through the night and go to the Student Health Center tomorrow. Here's the flyer and a video on how to use the virtual visits we talked about that were $20. And then there's the blue 365 flyer that has another discount program for all kinds of different programs that Blue Cross has to offer, like for tennis shoes and discounts on certain things. And then you can also go online to Blue Cross and Blue Shield and register for Blue Access for members. And when you click on this, it tells you how to, and you get a username and password, and you can look on the Blue Cross website and see every time you went to the doctor, when it was, how much it cost, and all that claim information is available to you once you sign in and log up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So let me go back here. The next tab I'm going to go to is called Quick Links. And this is the tab that if you change your address, your phone number, or your email, anything like that, you click on here and send an email and let academic health plans know that you made a change, because we do mail out your ID cards to the address that you have on file with the school. You also need to change all that information with the school there, especially with Nora, so that UT Rio Grande Valley knows any updates on that as well. If you just want to find out your group number and ID number, you click on this and put in your UT Rio Grande Valley ID number and your date of birth, and it'll give you your group number. If you want a temporary ID card login, you can click on this and print out a temporary ID card. This is the link that you would find a doctor or a hospital. You can find a pharmacy or a dental provider under any one of these three, whichever one you're looking for. And when you click on find a doctor or hospital, Blue Cross Blue Shield uses what's called the Blue Choice Network. And you would just open that up and put in the zip code down in the Rio Grande Valley, wherever you are, and then specify what kind of doctor you're looking for. If it's primary care, if it's an urgent care, if it's an emergency room, if it's a gastroenterologist for a stomach problem, whatever kind you're looking for, you just put that in. And then that would give you a list of doctors and how far away they are from you, so that you could just pick any doctor in that list and go to, and it would be an in-network doctor. So if a friend of yours said, you ought to go see Dr. Kopecky, well, that's my name, and I'm not a doctor, but if I were a doctor, you can look for a doctor by name. And if I look on the doctor by name and I look for Dr. Kopecky in the Rio Grande Valley, and there's not a name of a Dr. Kopecky down there, you know that they're not in network. So you'd want to pick another doctor that's in network. Does that make sense? So you always want to try to pick a doctor that is in network. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the cost page, and these are rates for the international program at the Rio Grande Valley. So this is the rate page. Can you all still see that okay?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I'm having a problem with my computer because mine's jiggling like crazy. I hope my light bulb on my computer is not going out. But anyway, this shows you for the 2021 academic year for the fall premium, when it starts. It started on 8/15 and runs through 12/31. That's the fall semester. Then there's the spring semester that starts on 1/1 and runs through 5/31. Then there's summer 1 that runs 6/1 through 7/8. And then summer 2 that's 7/8 through 8/14. So from 8/15 to 8/14, that's an annual policy. It goes throughout the whole year. However, you will be charged on your tuition by the semester. And these are the charges for each semester. Are there any questions on that?
No, but there's a question on the chat. if you can elaborate on preventive care and where can they find this service?
For preventative, for what's considered under preventative? Is that the question?
What is considered correct? Mm-hmm.
Preventative care is, it's required by the Affordable Care Act. So what I would do, you can look on the Blue Cross Blue Shield website where it goes sign up for Blue Access for members. And they have a link that you can click on that lists everything that's preventative, that's provided as a preventative service. Or you can go to the Affordable Care Act website, which is the federal government site, and look under preventative, and it will list everything on there that's covered under preventative. All companies have to cover what's on the Affordable Care Act website at 100%. So when you go to see a doctor, the doctors know what is covered as preventative, and they all start, this is probably something you really don't need to know, but it starts with a 9 code. The code that they bill for starts with a 9, and as long as it starts with a 9, it's covered at 100%. So if I'm a female and I have a mammogram and a pap smear, that's all part of what ladies have on their annual preventative visit, and that would be billed with a 9 code, and it would be covered at 100%, and you would have no out-of-pocket cost. So usually when you want to have a preventative visit with a doctor, you would call the provider, and generally it's going to be for female items, it might be an OBGYN. And then you can get a lot of things done under just a regular family practice doctor or at the student health center. So what I would do is if you want to call and make an appointment, just tell them that you want to make sure and make your preventative appointment. And they will know when you walk in the door that everything that you're going to do on that appointment should be at no cost to you, and they know what they should do based on your age. This is like oh gosh, I don't know how many years it's been going on, probably 5 years now. So and it's changed almost every year what's covered and what's not covered. But providers know what they need to do with you when you walk in, and you can discuss that with them. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. Now that we're also looking at the dates and the rates, could you also explain to the students how often are the insurance card issued? Like, are they issued once a year, every semester? Because we have.
Yes, they'll be issued to you in the fall. As long as you are enrolled throughout the year, you keep the same card. If you don't start until spring, you won't get an ID card until spring, but then you will keep it for the rest of the year. Now, if you enroll in spring, but you don't come back for spring or summer, you'll still have your ID card, but when you go to see the doctor, they're going to see it's not active anymore because you're not enrolled at UT Rio Grande Valley anymore. So you will get one card when you go to UT Rio Grande Valley. The ID card and number that you get should be the same all the way through the 4 years that you're at school there. It should never change. What changes is if the school doesn't enroll you when you go see a doctor, it won't be active. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. But so as I understood, they're given once a year, right? Every fall.
That's correct.
Fall.
That's correct.
Okay, and what to do if you didn't receive any card this fall?
You can either contact Academic Health Plan on that chat button on our website, send us an email, and we'll get you another card. Or you can call Blue Cross Blue Shield, go to the contact page, call Blue Cross Blue Shield, give them your student ID number there at Rio Grande Valley, and they'll send you one.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Let's see if I can get back here. Okay. Okay, for the enrollment tab, you're going to be enrolled automatically through the school. They're going to enroll you. But if you want to enroll your dependents, you would, let's see, well, it's not going to say it on here because it's closed right now. But on the enrollment tab, if you wanted to enroll your dependents and it was open, you see this is the open enrollment period. It's already closed for the fall, but it will be opening up during the spring, and it tells you when you can enroll your dependents for the spring. There'll be a link on here, enroll my dependents. I click on it and just enroll them. The dependent must be enrolled in the same plan as you are. So if you're enrolled in the health and you're enrolled in the dental, your dependents must be enrolled in the same plan as you are. The waiver tab, if anybody wants to not get the insurance and waive out, this is where you would go in and waive the insurance. Of course, the waiver is closed right now, so it's not on here. I want to waive. There'll be an I want to waive button. You just waive. Or if you just want to take a training and see how it's done, and there's a quick reference flyer that'll kind of walk you through how to do a waiver if you want to waive the insurance. If you don't want to waive the insurance, you just don't do that, and you will automatically be enrolled. There's a claims tab. When you go to the doctor and you're in network with Blue Cross Blue Shield, those doctors will file the claim and get paid by Blue Cross directly. You don't ever have to worry about that. So you should not really ever have to file any claims as long as you're in network. Should you choose to go to Dr. Kopecky, who's out of network, then you're going to have to pay that doctor up front and then file a medical claim. And then this is where you would get the medical claim form. You'd fill that out with a copy of the bill, send it into Blue Cross, and we will reimburse you less the copayment and the out-of-network benefit. So that's another thing about always going in network. You don't ever have to worry about having any more money out of your pocket than your copays and your co-insurance. Does that make sense to everybody? And then the last tab over here is a contact tab. So if you have any questions, you can call Academic Health Plans, or you can go out to our website and click on this little chat button over here and send us an email if you'd prefer, whichever way you choose. And then if you have a question about going to the doctor's office, there is a law in the United States called the HIPAA law, Health Insurance Privacy and Portability Act. And what that means is that only you, as the owner of the policy, can see your claims. How many times you went to the doctor, what they saw you for, how much it cost. So if you call Academic Health Plans and say, hey, can you help me with what happened at the doctor last week? I can't look at them, and no one from Blue Cross can. Nora can't either. No one from UT can. Only you can. So you would have to call Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas, talk to them, or you can sign up for that Blue Access for Members and see how you went to the doctor. Everything will be listed on there as to what happened in the doctor's office on there. So you can do it either way. But if you have a question, probably the best thing to do is call them, give them your ID number, the date of service that you went in to see the doctor, and then they can answer the question for you right over the telephone, because they have everything right there on their computers. Okay. That kind of covers the website. I think, as you can see, there's a lot of information out here. You know, we at Academic, let me go over the COVID resources real quick. That's right on the very home page. I talked about that earlier. You just click on the resources, and then it'll talk right here. You just click on the very first button, and it talks about what's covered under testing and treatment. You can click on that. And it talks about when you go to the doctor that all your testing is covered at 100%. Testing for antibodies, testing for surveillance, office visit, treatment. Here, and one of you mentioned trouble breathing. These are all office visit treatments that would be covered at 100% as long as they're diagnosed as COVID-19. So, you know, this just talks about it all. And this coverage covered at 100% will be covered until December 31st. They're going to take it all the way through the end of the year. So as long as like I said, the diagnosis is COVID-19, you'll have no out-of-pocket cost as long as you are at an in-network provider. Are there any questions on that? And then here it talks about telehealth. So telehealth visits, it talks on here where it'll be covered at 100%, where there'll be no charge for that, 7 days a week, 365, as long as it's a COVID related, telehealth is covered. So it's really good that the insurance company will take care of all those things covered at 100%. Talks about mental health services and also prescriptions. With prescriptions, if you get a 90-day, you'd only get a 30-day, generally speaking. But if you wanted to get a 90-day based on the COVID, and you don't go through the mail order, but you call a local Walgreens, they'll go ahead and give you the 90 days, and some of them will deliver it to your house. So there's a lot of different things that they're doing under COVID that are different than the normal ways that they do business. So that's good information to know. And the best thing is you know that you're covered through December 31st, through this semester. After that, then I'm sure that they'll just be taking a look at, you know, how COVID's going across the country, and it may be extended for the rest of the year. We don't know, but it is a decision that Blue Cross Blue Shield makes, not academic health plans. So that's why we posted out on our website. Does anybody else have any questions?
They had the question about the 24/7 nurse line service, if it costs any money.
No, it's free. Absolutely free.
What if we want to get tested in another, for example, like Walmart, places where they get public COVID testing? Will we be charged for that if we use our insurance card?
Well, you have to understand it's going to be covered. It's covered if you're at an in-network provider, which I don't believe that the Walgreens is going to be considered an in-network provider, because they don't, Walgreens I don't believe had, CVS Pharmacy has some minute clinics in there where they have providers, but Walgreens does not. So you'd have to, I would call the student health center there on campus and see if you can get it done there. And if not, then they probably have some suggestions on where you can go, or you can just make an appointment with an in-network provider. Because if you remember, it was in-network, it's covered at 100%.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, ma'am. I really appreciate your time. We've been going for about 42 minutes now, and I know I've talked a lot, but I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm sorry that I can't make it down there, but with COVID, we're just not allowed to travel right now, and I know some of you are taking classes remotely as well. So we're hoping that if it does let up some, that maybe later on down in the semester, or we can get back down and see everybody. It's always fun to come down and visit, so, and have a meeting in person. But we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. Are any other questions?
I have one question, but I'm not sure whether this to ask here or not.
That's okay.
The question is that previously we had a university physician. We are going to the some cottage hall, and they are checking some normal checking they are doing. So is there cottage hall service is still there for students, or is there any phone service for a small thing? Like university has some like medical physician in Cortez Hall in Brownsville. Did you get my question?
Yes.
Do you know Nora?
This is Nellie. I mean, you're talking about the student health services at the Brownsville campus?
Yes.
And you're saying that they're no longer in Cortez?
No, I am asking, is they are available now, or because before COVID they were available? But after COVID, I don't know the situation. That's why.
I believe they still are. I can look it up to you and let you know. But yeah, my understanding they are still in Cortes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'll give you that information and then I'll send it over to you through email.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you for your help on that.
We have another question, Ivan, but this one is regarding the tax forms from the medical insurance. I know those are sent directly from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Right.
But what if a student has not received their tax forms? Do they need to contact them directly, right?
Yes, they would just call the toll-free number at Blue Cross Blue Shield. They may have moved. I mean, there could be a reason why it didn't get to them, but they'll send out another one. And they usually do that right before tax time.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm supposed to arrive to the United States within December, and I have to cover all the tuition fees for the health insurance, right? Everything for international students. But they mentioned something about waiver, 50%. I can apply and you will make a discount. You understand me? Or can make me pay only the half.
Mohammed, that would be a question for the graduate college because I believe.
Yeah, not here. Okay, thank you.
The PGRA award, right? That's what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Those are the PGRA awards. They are available to waive the 50%, but that would be a scholarship with the graduate college. So I would
Okay, thank you.
give back to the graduate college. Yes. Do we have any more questions? I think we're good.
Okay, let me stop sharing my screen here.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ivan, for your time and for that information that you provided to us today. It's very, very helpful for our students. So as I said, I'll be sharing this with all the students that were not able to join us today. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate being here, and let us know if we can help you. Have a safe summer or a safe semester.
Okay, Ivan,
Right.
you too. Thank you.
Bye. Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.